Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and this video is a special one because in this video I'm going to be showing you my movie icons display that I have downstairs in the living room displayed in an Ikea Milsbo cabinet. Let's get started. This is my movie icons display that I have on display down in my living room next to the TV in an Ikea Milsbo glass display cabinet. Really elegant, sturdily built display cabinet. I bought this a few years ago it's actually in Ikea in Blanchardstown in Dublin. I will drop a link to this particular display cabinet or display case, whichever one I call it, in the description for this video. I think it was in around, I want to say in between 200 and 300 euro when I bought it. I think it was close to 200 euro. I'm not sure, but of course the updated price will be in that link. My thought process for this particular display is I want a display, one figure per cube, obviously, nice and clean, with only iconic characters from iconic movies. My long-term vision for this is that I want them all to be household names, and I'm nearly there, with the exception of Paul Atreides here. I don't think Paul Atreides is a household name just yet, but for essentially Batman, the Joker, Superman, the Terminator, Robocop, and after last summer, Deadpool and Wolverine are definitely household names. If they weren't before, they definitely are now. So you can see there's a little key here in this particular Ikea Milsbo cabinet. That's going to keep all intruders out, of course. You've got a latch on the top, a latch on the bottom. I just want to open this out because I want to show you avoid any glare and stuff. There's a bit of glare because it's the way the sun's coming in the window at this time of recording this video. So we've got the 1989 Batman. We've got the 1989 Joker from the Tim Burton movie. You've got the INART Superman, Henry Cavill, based on BVS. You've got the INART Paul Atreides, the only one which I don't think is a household name yet. You've got the Terminator 2 T800 battle damage version, the DX13, one of their best. You got the Robocop from the 1987 first Robocop movie. You got Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine, and then you've got, of course, Wolverine from 1973 Wolverine from Days of Future Past. So I think they're definitely all movie icons. They're iconic characters from iconic movies, but I think the only one that isn't a household name yet is Paul Atreides, and that doesn't really matter because the display looks great. It's my display at the end of the day. However, I do want to swap out the Wolverine for the yellow and blue classic Wolverine that's coming from Deadpool and Wolverine. That'll be a lot more iconic and definitely the kind of household look people would look for. And I'll probably swap out Paul Atreides for maybe James Bond. It's more of I want, no matter who comes into the room, whether it's my 8-year-old nephew or someone who's 80 years of age, they'd be like, oh, that's Batman, that's Superman, that's the Joker, that's Terminator, that's Robocop, that's Deadpool. You know, that's my vision for this particular movie icons display. But love the way it's looking at the moment. And you'll notice I picked a lot of figures that don't involve any light up. I know the Terminator has a light up eye and the Robocop, the chair lights up, but for the most part, You know, no sabers, no leads, just for a clean display. Apologies for quick interruption to this video. If you're watching this video right now, hit the like button and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel and the support is greatly appreciated. Back to the video. So on the left, Batman. Obviously Batman's an iconic character, and this is from the 1989 Tim Burton movie that he starred along. Michael Keaton starred as Batman alongside Jack Nicholson. That's the 2.0, and I have a Jackson shoe cape on it. You put a Jackson shoe cape on that, put it in the right pose on that bell tower display. It just looks amazing. It's not a perfect figure, but look, this isn't a review. If you get it set up right, it's going to do the job. It looks fantastic. Now this figure here is close to perfect. This is the Hot Toys DX08 Jack Nicholson Joker from the 1989 Batman movie, the Tim Burton directed one. So the counterpart for the Batman. Now that particular figure hasn't been 2.0'd. I believe in a long enough timeline, a lot of things do get 2.0'd or reissue the 3.0'd. That one, who knows, maybe not, but it's hard to see what they'll improve besides maybe the ankle, and I know, could they make that head sculpt better? This is the INART BVS Superman, obviously based on the likeness of Henry Cavill. I'm not the biggest DCU fan, but I love Henry Cavill as Superman. And I love the suit and stuff like that, and I like the omission of the omission of the red underpants. It never really did it for me. Also that dynamic cape as well. That's the figure that I think really made me love dynamic capes and practicing posing them. Of course, you have the INART Paul Atreides, which is just a beautiful piece altogether, whether it's the head sculpt, the Timothée Chalamet head sculpt, the rooted hair looks fantastic, the little nose piece, which is extremely delicate. If you have this in your unboxing, be really careful. It's extremely delicate. By right, they should have given us 2 or 3 spares, in fairness, INART. It's got the backpack, it's got the it's called the Jubba cloak, I believe. I had to look that up. Apparently that's canon for the Dune universe. Even like the segmented look of the still suit. And of course you have Muad'Dib, the little kangaroo desert mouse there, and it has the magnetic bases. Like the Ikea Milsbo is a really sturdy cabinet, and I tend not to use bases that much, which is a bit ironic because in this movie icons display I have used several bases. I love the magnetic ones. They're really simple and elegant, and I really like the diorama piece. I don't like base for the sake of base, like the sand base or something like that, but I love a good dio base, an environmental base, like a piece of the movie set, or especially if it lights up and I can get it wired up. But or the magnetic ones are quite elegant. This one of their best, the DX13 Battle Damage Terminator from Terminator 2. I actually have the box signed by Robert Patrick as well. This isn't leaving the collection, although I am going to pick up the 2.0 DX46, which is the battle damage version with the genuine leather and the light up base and stuff like that. I do think it's going to be a bit better, but I have to pick it up. So this is the 1987 Robocop from the first movie. As you can see, it's not that blue color that we've seen a lot, actually, not only from the Robocop 3 that they released a few years ago, but now the one that went up for pre-order from Robocop 2. Recently rewatched Robocop 2, and I'm glad I have this one. This is the better movie, and if I had to pick one, it would be this. But I have to say that blue has really grown on me. I mean, aesthetically it probably looks better, but in fairness, the first movie is a lot better than the second, I think. So this is the Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine. This is the best Deadpool out there. The proportions on the first one weren't great. The proportion on the second one actually had very wide shoulders and narrow legs. This one looks like a guy in the suit. They've done a fantastic job of this, and I'm looking forward to getting the kind of the battling version that comes with the Wade Wilson head sculpt and stuff like that. And of course this one, the 1973 Wolverine from Days of Future Past. Solid figure, has like those forearms are insane. I was photographing earlier on, and I noticed these tiny little hairs that the human eye seem to not pick up, or at least they can, but when you photograph it with a nice camera, you can really see all the little details and stuff like that. This is inevitably going to be swapped out from the yellow and blue Deadpool and Wolverine, the Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine, because it'll pair better with the Deadpool, and also it's the more iconic look that I want, and that's what I'm going for this particular movie icons display. To be honest, as much as what's behind me is beautiful and I get the chance to use fusion reactors and CCFLs and everything, I think the movie icons display is my favorite display of my collection in the house. Like it just looks, I think it looks very, very classy, and it's just a talking point as well when people come into the house. So there you have it. That's my movie icons display in the living room, displayed in Ikea Milsbo. Okay folks, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this particular movie icons display. If you have any questions about any of the figures or even the Ikea Milsbo cabinet itself, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. That's it, that's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.